I have been a rail enthusiast for many years now. When I visited Sri Lanka for the first time in 2024, I had seen a great number of railway locomotives there. They were in railway museums, static displays, even functioning ones. But as I took a closer look, I realized there were many classes of Sri Lankan locomotives that I had seen. Let me tell you what kinds of locomotives did I see in Sri Lanka. These classes, some are in railway museums, some are working. But all these locomotives are interesting. We'll be excluding the rolling stocks for the moment because there are so many of them, they can perform a separate documentary. So let's look at the steam engines. Firstly, this is the E1 1898 062 locomotive number 93. The locomotive was built in England and today it is one of the oldest railway locomotives standing in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka got its first railways in 1864. Though the first engine does not exist, it is worth mentioning that the first coach of the railway can still be seen here, which dates back to 1864. Next, we go to the locomotive near the station of Rambukkana. In this small railway museum or static display, there we saw a CPC class locomotive 040 number 3. This locomotive was built by Hunslet in Leeds, and this black locomotive stands proudly with its coach in the city of Rambukkana. That's all about steam engines. But now let us have a look at the diesel ones. First we'll take out the M class locomotives. This M class or M series is a series of classes of diesel electric locomotives that ran on the main lines of Sri Lanka. First we have the M1. The M1, introduced in 1952, is the first mainline diesel locomotive class of Sri Lanka. It was built in 1952 and its wheel arrangement is A1A-A1A. The M6 and the M7 locomotives are still running today. Both of them are Bobo locomotives. The M6 was built in 1979 and a few of them are still running. The M7 on the other hand were built in 1981 and a lot of them are still running in Sri Lankan railways. Now let us go to the classes G and Y, that is the shunters. Shunters or switchers are locomotives that are obviously used for shunting. In this category, we have seen one locomotive in the Kadugannawa Railway Museum, the National Rail Museum of Sri Lanka. This is the G1 class. Built in 1934 and working till 2006, the G1 class locomotive, the only member of its class, had 3 axles yet 4 wheels. The 040 locomotive is visible in the Kadugannawa Railway Museum. Now let us see some narrow gauge locomotives. There are a lot of narrow gauge railways in Sri Lanka and we have seen 2 engines from the narrow gauge railways. Firstly, we have the N2 class diesel locomotive which was built in 1973. Then we have the P1 class locomotive built in 1950. Then let us have a look at the EMUs. The EMU is a term used in railway language which is seen as the 3 or more cars which are combined together and the whole train is full of passengers. These EMUs or diesel push-pull trains have been working in Sri Lanka for a long time. We have seen the S3 1959 locomotives. We have seen the S6 1974 models which worked on the Kelani Valley line. These are also called the suburban bogies. Then we have the S7, the 1977 model, which also worked on the Kelani Valley line. It is very similar to the S6. The S10 is the 2008 currently in operation EMU locomotive. These types of engines are running all over the broad gauge lines of Sri Lanka. They sometimes pull fast passengers, sometimes they pull express trains. The Kadugannava railway station is just beside the railway museum. So the S14 local train EMU was not missed by me. It came and went away. The S14 are the most recent type of EMU locomotives of the country, and these are diesel electric trains working all over Sri Lanka. So that's the number of diesel and steam locomotives in Sri Lanka that I saw. I would like to mention that I had also seen a few more, but unfortunately I couldn't get a grasp of them. But still, this documentary, I think, will be a good guide to the rail enthusiasts of Sri Lanka. Thank you.